John Barrett started his career in the center of it all.
I graduated from the University of Cincinnati's College of Business. I went to New York City, to the Bank of New York for 2 years. My life began when I started my first job, and I just fell in love with work. Worked for the best people you could possibly work for. Enjoyed great client relationships with tons of good people, many here in town. And it just kind of opened up my eyes to the business world in a different way. This was my father, who ran the company for...
After 16 years in New York, an opportunity at Western and Southern was on the table.
The opportunity came to come to Western Southern, which was a 100-year-old company, about 100 years old, who'd had its origins in the door-to-door sale of life insurance to middle-income people. It's the only insurance they had. They valued it very much, and it was a great business. But the world had changed. So I came in '87, and we strategically changed our direction in '88, and we diversified. And then in '89, I became president, 30 years ago, believe it or not.
When John joined the company, they were at $4 billion, with an average net worth of $500 million.
When I joined the company, I think we had 2,800 people selling for us. Today, we have 97,000. We are now a series of companies, not Western and Southern.
When you're working to build, John says it all comes down to culture.
It trumps strategy every time. Strategies are great, but they change. Cultures should outlive us all.
And he has no idea what a work-life balance is.
I was king of wasting time as a kid. But when I got serious about work, 22, 23, I kind of quit wasting time then. And a person of average talent like myself needs all the time in the world to do better than the people that are much more talented. I don't hang in the past. You know, sometimes I wish I'd done things better, oftentimes. But I think about how I can do them better. I want us to think about what we can do better. It's real easy in the sales world where if you make your quota, you can sit back and rest. I've got friends who take off 2 and 3 months because they've done really well. That's not what you want. You want somebody to want to do even better. Who knows how long this is all going to last, right? We could get into another hell of a recession and wish we'd done more. I don't want that to happen to us.
Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate.
Our mutual fund guys came to me and said, you know, John, in this market, there are a whole lot of guys who've seen their income cut dramatically, money managers, their income cut dramatically because they get paid on a % of assets under management. And they have the same client, they have the same stocks, but the stocks are worth half as much. So we went out, we put $10 million into 10 new funds, and we got 10 managers who were great, and we did at a time when nobody could believe it. Everybody was running from the stock market, and we formed 10 new funds. Well, the Harvard Business Review heard about that a couple years later when things were going well, and they wrote an article on it. They said, now those guys took a risk and look how it worked out. It was a no-brainer. Owners do better than renters every time. So the guys who own these companies are going to make them work.
Western and Southern is fully invested in our community, from the resurgence of OTR and construction of Great American Tower to the $100 million goal of the Barrett Cancer Center and the tennis tournament.
Please welcome Venus Williams.
We get people from every state in the union and something like 35 countries every year in the tournament. It's a big deal, but we made it a bigger deal than it was. And it's really kicking it now. It's fantastic. On the whole city, like 65 million. It's big. It's like the All-Star game was. My counsel would be to the CEOs, your time is worth more than anyone else's. If you would put some of it toward the causes that need it, they would be moved much further and faster than if you don't. The fulfillment you get from it is watching success happen. And it does. It does. We've had many negotiations here with companies to bring them into our fold or whatever. And many times we go out and visit people and you see the not so hot environment very close to their company. I ask myself, Why? Why haven't they invigorated their own neighborhood? And you know what? We don't end up doing the deal with those guys because there's other things. They're focused on me. So when people say, what do you do for you? It's a foreign question to me. I never think about it. I like living life. And living life means doing more, accomplishing stuff, not kicking back, you know?